A lot of people don't seem to really understand what it is I'm doing. And I figured I would clear that up. What I'm doing is explaining that when it comes to the court thing, that PFA case I keep talking about, um, the significance of it is that it raises significant questions for public concern regarding Judge Panchik to the extent that I recommend boycotting the court until you get the answers. We're playing out the process. Legally, the case is going to have to be dismissed. I mean, it is what it is. But the point that I'm trying to make is the only way that the case wouldn't be dismissed is if somebody is grossly dishonest and refuses to acknowledge the facts. Why were the facts uh, that were beneficial to the defendant overlooked by Judge Panchik? Why didn't he bring those up? There's no getting around it. It's all right here. That's the question. There's no arguing that that's the question. So, you know, obviously we can't have faith in the court. Uh, Legally, the court has to dismiss the case in the appeals process. Based off of my experiences at the Armstrong County Courthouse, where there's been absolutely gross misconduct displayed against me, to the extent that uh, it's probably going to attract national attention by the time everything is disclosed, because I'm going to push it that hard. And the things that I say on here are vetted from the perspective of, would a reasonable, unbiased person agree with the things I say when presented with the facts? I don't come on here and just start shooting my mouth off. Everything I say has been given very careful consideration to what your opinion would be on the matter if you were sat down and uh, in a court setting. Let's say, since this is the topic, let's say if you're a member of the jury and it says it reasonable, unbiased, here's the facts, you would have to agree, is what I'm saying. So those are the standards that I vet my comments by. I don't come on here and just say things. I don't defame people. I'm telling you the truth. As uncomfortable as it may be, this is the reality of the situation. And though there have been people who, um, you know, somebody that I actually highly respect, I have a lot of respect for, said to me uh, something along the lines, being that the case is currently still in the appeals process of the Superior Court. Someone said to me, uh, based off me bringing this to the public and speaking about this on here, they said to me, well, I've always been under the assumption that, if something like this happened and you appealed it and the appeal didn't go your way, well, then that's it. And that mindset leads to complete and total slavery. What I'm doing is coming on and telling you, before the Superior Court's even gotten that far, that there is no You know what I mean? There's no justification to deny it legally. I don't care if you're I don't care if you went to Harvard Law School. I don't care where you went to school. There's nobody that can argue this. It's wrong. And for those reasons, I feel it's important to come on here and preemptively disclose this to the public, because what that does is it keeps the higher courts honest. It keeps the higher courts honest by, um, and somebody else said to me, well, what if, what if the judge at the Superior Court sees you doing this and they don't like this? And listen, we go back to the any honest person thing. An honest judge who has integrity for the process and sits down and looks at the details of this case can't disagree with me. So, and also any honest, reasonable person can see why I'm extraordinarily pissed off and willing to so adamantly expose this. So, from the perspective of, am I scared about upsetting somebody? No, I'm not. I don't want the approval of anybody who is I don't need approval. The details, the facts are the facts. Now, because of the state of the world we live in, obviously we're gonna play out the process, um, and make sure we get that dismissed by the Superior Court. However, I am not going to assume a perspective of, well, it's up to the Superior Court. The, there's no, it is, there's not a question. There's no decision to be made. Okay, the facts are the facts. So therefore, uh, no, it's not up to the Superior Court. Any reasonable person, if you it, don't, I don't care where you went to school, I don't care how long you were an attorney, it doesn't matter. You cannot argue with me about this. So that's where I'm at with it. And anybody that has anything negative to say about me doing this, fuck you. My dog's being illegally withheld from me by a person abusing a PFA to withhold my dog from me. The reason that the PFA was necessary for this person to withhold my dog from me is because the dog's fucking, there is no, it's difficult to explain, but there is that's the only way that you're gonna take my dog from me, is by having me blocked from getting it. You know, my ex-girlfriend, she can say it's her dog, but you know, I can say I'm a cat. Um, say whatever you want. It doesn't, you know what I mean? Uh, the objective facts around the ownership of that dog are between her and I only. The court has zero jurisdiction over it, and neither does anybody else, or the opinions of anybody else don't matter. You can take your opinions and shove them up your ass. I mean, it's irrelevant. Uh, the court, their opinions on the dog, outside of the correct legal channels in determining ownership of an animal, uh, they don't, and specifically in this situation, they have, there's no jurisdiction at all. So we come back to the fact that based on the objective facts, the reality of ownership of that dog, outside of that proper, I'm speaking legally, outside of the legal channels of determining ownership of a dog, if two people don't agree, it's between her and I. And that's why the PFA was necessary. And also because, I'm on here talking about uh, this situation where some people may say, "Oh well, you shouldn't want to talk about that in public." I don't give a fuck. It's not about me. The reason that this is important, again, the reason that this is important to other people are not the specific details of the specific case. It's the principles behind it. So, um, yeah, this is the reality of the situation. We need answers from Judge Panchik of why he ignored the evidence that um, uh, th- that ended the case. You talk to any lawyer you want, it doesn't matter. You talk to any robot you want, it doesn't matter. There was nothing on that petition that legally warranted the issuance of a temporary PFA. I'm arguing, period. However, it was issued temporarily, and then you get down to the hearing, which is supposed to be within 10 days. They made me wait about 70 days. The point is, there's nothing on that paper that warranted by law the issuance of the temporary PFA. Again, I'm arguing it all, but definitely outside of this statement that uh, the statement by the plaintiff that the defendant opened her car and took the dog. It this was proven at the hearing. Uh, why would the person? Why would the defendant open your car and take the dog? Because you drove there to the location for the defendant to open your car and take the dog. Yes, this is established on certified court record. It's fucking. It's all right here. I don't care about your opinions. I don't care about people who are so insecure with themselves that they can't handle somebody calling out a judge, calling out the court. 220 days. My dog's water dish dried up. It's fake. This PFA is fake. Yeah. So it was a bit of a longer video, but I wanted to be very clear about why it is I'm calling this out now, uh, and try to give people a little bit of insight on the significance of what I'm saying from just the most basic perspective. And so I'm not good at talking. I'm not good at explaining stuff at all in any form. Uh, but I just come on here and do my best to explain to you that this is fucked up. We There's no denying it, and I just so happen to have the balls to come on here and call it out for what it is without any fear. The opinions of people who would try to deny that I am right are completely and totally irrelevant to anybody with integrity.